there's either too much time ahead of you, so I don't need to start that yet,
Yeah.
or there's not enough time left, and I can't achieve that by the end of the year.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, it's John Lamberton here alongside my good friend and business partner, Mr. Jason Brockman. We are here for another episode of the Ambitious Lifestyle Business Podcast, where as always, it is our job to help you get more customers and make more money without just working harder. So without further ado, let's dive straight into this month's episode.
Today, we are joined by Womb Centre Karen Hardie, owner of Xheight, a branding and packaging design agency with 20 years experience working with numerous brands, from owner-managed startups to multi-million pound organisations. Karen, welcome to the Ambitious Lifestyle Business Podcast.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
It's good to hear you. It's good to see you. We did, obviously, I've opened your bio there by mentioning multi-million pound organisations, but also owner-managed startups. This is the Ambitious Lifestyle Business Podcast. And I know from conversations we've had in the past, that term lifestyle business was something that maybe you've struggled with a little bit in the past.
Yeah, it's true, actually. I'm not really sure why, but I think I potentially thought from a positioning perspective, calling ourselves a lifestyle business may equal not being a serious business. Not sure why, but I think it was something that stuck with me for a long time until I actually heard, I heard you speaking, and the word ambitious around that really intrigued me. So yeah, now I'm a very proud, ambitious lifestyle business owner. So yes.
Was it that disconnect between, I work with these big blue chips, these multi-million pound organisations, they won't want to work with a lifestyle business. Is it that barrier?
I think partly. And I think also there is an association sometimes that potentially lifestyle, as I say, equals not serious. And I like to consider that we've got, serious plans. Definitely our business needs to work around our lifestyle. But I think, as I say, it's that positioning piece and probably a little bit of what you said as well. How would we be viewed by those kind of companies?
Yeah, I think, Jace, was it Mick we spoke to a few months back, and he talked about coming out as a lifestyle business owner? Because again, he works with a lot of the blue chips, and it was that it's almost an internal battle. I feel that you need to accept that, being a lifestyle business, you need to accept that that's okay. And it was the same for me, which was why that word ambitious was added to the start of it, because I remember, Jace, 10 years ago, 15 years ago now, coming back from the MOT garage, having read that Alan Sugar thing, and said, I want a lifestyle business.
Yeah.
Oh, but that's not very ambitious, is it? I don't want to settle for a bog standard lifestyle business. Do you see a lot of this, Jace?
Yeah, I do really. It's you said it in Big Ideas for Small Businesses, the Peter Jones effect, isn't it, really? It's those people who watch that Dragon's Den because they're aspiring to be big business owners and have a great business. And then you hear Peter Jones saying, yeah, you've got a lifestyle business. Oh, that's a cottage thing, that is. Oh, you got to do that. That ain't for us corporates. That's not for us people who've got millions of pounds. That's just for you to go and play in your shed or your kitchen or whatever it may be that you do it. And so I think, having watched Dragon's Den for 20 years or whatever long it's been on the TV, it's kind of one of those things that actually gets ingrained even in small business owners. It's like, it's not a real business, or it's not I'm not doing real stuff. But actually that's absolutely opposite of what's true. I think there's something like 68% or something of all businesses in the UK are small businesses, are people, one-man bands, are people who are trying to create their own world, in their own world, by their own world. And it's really disparaging of people who look down on those businesses and actually and say and have a platform to tell people that they're rubbish, to be fair, or that they're no good, or actually it's not for me, or it's not for anybody else to say. It's definitely one of those things. It's imposter, I think, really is what they kind of have, they've stoked that fire of imposter syndrome, where people go, I'm a nothing, but I've got my own business, but I'm a nothing. It doesn't count in anything. And I think that's a real big shame, and I say a huge disservice that people with the platform have done in the past, which is why we've got the Ambitious Lifestyle Business podcast to promote a different way, perhaps, and change that little bit of mindset that actually, no, you're not. You're doing some wonderful things. You can work with whoever you want to work with, and that's absolutely fine. And I think we're quite lucky that COVID's enabled that too, because the home workers can be home workers now, whereas they were never home workers before. As you're in the office 9 till 10 at night and and all that stuff. But actually, there is a different way, and I think COVID's kind of helped that a little bit too. So is that was the answer to the question you may have had, John?
It's true, and I think layers on top of that for us, we're a husband and wife team, and I think unfortunately, there's associations with husband and wife teams. Maybe one partner set up, and then the other partner came in, as a result of that person. But we were kind of business partners first, and actually then got married afterwards. But I think there's that association with husband and wife teams as well. But obviously there's some super successful husband and wife partnerships, out there. But there was that kind of association. But yeah, those kind of things have long got in my head. Actually, I'm very proud of what we've achieved as a small business. And continue to achieve. It's exciting. It's an exciting place to be, and I now wouldn't want to be positioned in any other way. Interestingly,
how have you actually changed your positioning then? What how in terms of your outgoing marketing, your outreach? Have you updated the copy on your website? What's changed other than internally, other than in your mindset, in terms of your actual outreach and your positioning and your branding? What has changed as a result of that mindset shift?
Much at all. It was purely an internal thing. We were working, no one had ever approached us. No, there's obviously the element of people don't necessarily tell you everything, but we had never been, dismissed or whatever, had not been taken on in a pitch or situation because we were a small team. We'd never, that never been said to us. It was purely an internal thing. So we continue to position ourselves, market, ourselves. And as you said at the start, John, we work with smaller startups right up to the bigger corporates. And I think for us, it's the variety really that having a small business enables us to do. We can very much pick and choose, if you like, who we work with, the projects that we work with. And also, really enjoying the fact that we work with quite a small handful, a couple of handfuls of clients at any one time, and we can really kind of, as we say, get under the skin of the brand and really kind of be there and be present for the clients and grow with them. So I actually don't think anything externally, to be honest. It was purely a mindset thing, and joining this community, and I'm honestly not just saying this because I'm on the podcast today, but joining this community has really helped with that positioning, because there's a ton of successful business people within this community. Really, really pleased to have got to know so many great people who are very proud about that fact, and it's just helped me with my own thought process there, really.
And that's happened fairly recently as well, I think, hasn't it, for you? That discovering the lifestyle part. You've been very het up's the wrong word necessarily, but kind of stuck on that corporate peg for quite some time and wanting to be so, and that's cool. But I know that lifestyle piece is moved, and actually living in the same place is changing, and the place you want to kind of aspire to getting more lifestyle into that business, and living and working in different countries and things like that as well. And one of the things I really liked is recently that you've kind of have regular planning getaways, and it's really great that you can take your business partner and life partner away and have the kind of a retreat of your own, in order to kind of to kind of line up what it is you're trying to achieve, both in business and in life as well, which is great. And I know you've come off the back of one of those, and that kind of helps you to align what your next period looks like. How's that working out?
Yeah. Great point. And probably actually, as you say that is probably the one thing that has changed. I did always feel that, if we didn't have a London office and, being very based here and having a, solid base, so to speak. And, if we would almost not hide the fact, but we would maybe not promote the fact, that we might be holding calls and meetings, in Spain or in the States or wherever, just because we felt, oh no, how would that be viewed? We haven't got the, but no, that's been fine as well. But yeah, as you mentioned, we also kind of have these away days, which I think some of our friends find a bit bizarre, because it's like your business partners and kind of life partners. But it's great because I always feel like, and you guys I'm sure feel the same, your business and your life are not two separate entities. They, they're very much entwined. And often people say to me, "Oh, I'm not sure I could work, with my other half. How does that work?" And in some ways, yes, there are challenges, absolutely. But in other ways, it's great because you actually do have the same goals. You have the same journey that you're on and the same path. And these weekends away, these kind of days away that we have are so useful just to kind of realign. Are we still meeting our 90-day goals? Are we still on the same path? So yeah, they're fantastic. I would highly recommend for anyone to take some time away, because we've tried it in kind of the corporate boardroom situation. We've tried it at home, but inevitably there's always distractions. But just kind of getting away for a few days in a different environment is really, really helpful.
So what does that look like? If someone listening to this thinks, "Oh, I'd love to do that," are we booking a country hotel? Are we jumping on a Ryanair roulette flight somewhere in Europe? What does that look like? No phones. What's the rules?
We do tell clients that effectively we're away. Most people then think that's holiday, so they don't bother you. We just say we're out of office for 2 or 3 days. And it can be, this time we were just down on the south coast, but sometimes it's in Spain. Depends really where we are. It tends to be 2 days, and we have kind of the first day is very much a check-in day, back on the 90-day goals, and then setting the next 90-day goals. And the second day tends to be something specific in the business. So it might be positioning, for example. We're looking at the moment target market. It could be the second. It could be anything really, something that's very specific to that particular quarter. But yeah, no, it's so great, and I almost don't think. I think you have to do what suits you. Some people say, "Oh, if I was in an Airbnb and had these great," because where we were in this country park and it was lovely, and they were like, "Oh, I'd be quite distracted actually and wanted to go out." But for me, I found it quite inspiring. My husband did too. We were just like looking out, and you've got this great view. So I think it depends on your own working environment. I think some people would prefer that kind of boardroom situation to do that, but for us, it really helps.
Definitely. Do you both come with an agenda? Do you decide this is what I want to do, and does Rich come in and say, "Right, I've got my agenda"? Do we have a little discussion about what's going to go, or is it literally
I come with
a topic, a thinking time question, or anything like that?
Yeah, no, I come with an agenda. I can't help it. I'm afraid. No, I come with an agenda, and as I say, day one tends to be the same. How did the last 90 days go? How did we hit our goals? Did we not? What do we think needs to be the focus for the next quarter? So that's a very set agenda, and the second day, as I say, just tends to be topics that we might brainstorm around. I was speaking to Jason, it was looking at our target market at the moment, and all the questions around, is it sector specific? Is it, is it a certain size business? So that's more of a conversation. So yeah, so day one tends to be quite agendified, and then the second day, made up a word there, and the second day,
agendified. There we go.
And then the second day tends to be more kind of conversation, brainstorms, etc.
And is that purely focused on the business, or is that a little bit of lifestyle creeping in there as well?
I think inevitably they are mixed. So our 90-day goals will include lifestyle plans, where we're going to be in the world, introducing hobbies. I think one of the disadvantage is not quite the right word, but one of the situations when you're husband and wife team, especially when, we don't have kids or pets or anything that mean that we have a stop time and we have time. So I think that sometimes can be dangerous somewhat, because you could just work on the business constantly. So we bring into our 90-day goals a lot of the lifestyle things as well, and what we want to be doing, forcing ourselves sometimes personally, because when you love what you do, it's quite hard to switch off sometimes, isn't it? So
it is, yeah. When you've got that passion project, and great. It's the lines between work and life do get blurred.
Yes.
I'm just thinking in terms of, our listeners who think, I might want to do this myself. In many ways, it's easier to do that and have the work plan and the life plan when you are husband and wife, life partners. When you're not, I think you need to be more deliberate about bringing the lifestyle into it, because otherwise, if you're just work partners, and you meet up for a retreat, and you are going to talk work. How do we maximize this business? How do we grow this business? How do we scale this business up? And then you'll both go away, or multiple 3, 4 of you could go away and say, oh, but what about my lifestyle? We had a similar, this wasn't a planned retreat or anything, but we had our boardroom meetings this week. So we were in a hotel and we just had breakfast yesterday morning. We were chatting about, well, what could boardroom look like next year?
Yeah.
And I think we did a pretty good job over about 10 minutes of chatting through, well, here's how it could be great for the business. And then I said, well, that means 18 nights in a hotel. That means, X thousand miles driving up and down the motorways. I want to write a book next year. You're looking at moving to Fuerteventura. And we had a little lifestyle discussion around that. So, and we always talk about the pendulum here, the ambition at one end, the lifestyle at the other end. So we do, we throw that pendulum to one end and say, right, well, how could we scale this business up? And then it naturally comes back around the other end and say, yeah, but I don't want to do that.
Yeah. And that's the way to approach it, I think, isn't it? And I think, that's the advantage of a lifestyle business very much, isn't it? That you're not frightened to bring that to the table. You can't, it's sometimes frowned upon, in a more corporate situation. I don't know. I haven't been in corporate for many years now, so I don't know. It might have changed quite a lot, but I think you feel like you can bring those conversations to your business partner, and you can talk quite openly about that. And I honestly think that's the way forward as well. I think with the way that we're all working, particularly internationally and remotely, it kind of has to be around that, really, doesn't it? It has to be quite high up on the agenda of what you're trying to achieve as a business in terms of how that fits in with your lifestyle. But
I just think it's not very natural, and certainly new 1%ers that come in, and certainly lots of 1%ers that are still with us. So you find the work really natural. It's really easy to do more work. It really feels like, actually, I want to do better, so I'll just do some more work. I'll work more hours, I'll work harder, I'll do those things. What doesn't come naturally is that lifestyle. We just had a 1% live a couple of weeks ago where there was a very large injection of lifestyle throughout the kind of talks and the speeches and the things that kind of happened during live. And that light bulb kind of moment which comes about where you think, oh, actually, yeah, the lifestyle bit could come first. We could look at what that wants to be, and then let's look at what the business needs to do in order to make that bit happen. And I know that's definitely where you've kind of come through this last 90-day period, was about actually what do we want in our lifestyle? What does that need to look right now? How do we do that with our business? And I know you were looking at the marketing piece of who's our market, who is the people we want to work with, what jobs do we want to do, and who is going to enable us to be able to spend 3 months here, 2 months there, 1 month here, and do the bits and pieces that you want to do. And I think that's that absolute change in people's minds from working harder, bigger, longer, earning more, do things. And then I'll have something to do with it. I'll have a bit of money that I can go on holiday and I can go and enjoy that. Whereas actually changing that round a bit is actually I only want to work. John, again, big ideas for small business. I can only work 20 hours a week now because I'm doing full-time childcare. I am doing this, that, and the other. Actually, what does the business now need to look like? That 20 hours needs to be really productive. I need to work. I need to be focused. I need to have a plan. I need to work it through. And I know that, again, similarly for you, when you have spent some time abroad this year, it was kind of actually, well, what does that need to look like? I want to balance working because the clients need to be serviced and I want to maintain that level of income. But whilst I'm in South Africa or wherever it might be, I don't want to be stuck in the room doing all of that all that time. I want to go out and enjoy and explore and have cocktails and all the things that you really want to kind of do as well, whilst you're not, enjoy why you've moved to, you're looking in a different country. Yeah. So it's kind of actually that work pattern gets to change. And it's like, actually, I can do this working 4 hours in the morning and then spend the rest of the day doing the bit out, the lifestyle piece. My clients are all service, the income level's right, and there is a different way of doing it. And I think at our last live we kind of injected a little bit of, can you do this? And I know, our pink flamingo queen would say, that was the question that she asked, really, can you take some time out of your business? I think she was aiming for 6 months, but by the end of the talk, I think there was quite a few in the room that went, maybe I can. maybe I can do a month, or maybe I could do a period of time, and that's what we were looking to achieve.
And I think as well, on top of that, I think, in periods of my life where I've been, not as happy, that does have an impact on work as well. So it's almost, it's productive for the business as well, and productive in a job or any whatever you're doing in life. But to have, it's a fairly simple equation, I suppose, but when you're happy in life and you're doing all the things that you want to do, you then bring that energy and that enthusiasm into what you're doing professionally as well. So it seems almost counterintuitive to not kind of have that on the top of the agenda, really. And I do actually think that a lot of corporates now realise that, and they're putting a lot of the employee benefits at the top of the the top of the agenda as well. But yeah, it's exactly what you said. I think you take a different mindset when you take that approach. Absolutely.
Definitely. Jason, you mentioned Karen's escapades earlier this year. Escapes, shall we say?
Escapes.
As we're recording this, I think it's been about 8 months since you came to see us at Home Park.
It is, yeah.
2-0 win, I believe, over the Rotherham United. Ryan Hardie stretchered off with a broken cheekbone or something, wasn't he? No relation, just to be sure. We had a discussion there about, could I run this business from a different country? Could I, will my clients expect me to be in the same time zone, in the same country, available to, I don't know, drop everything and run to London for a meeting? And I think you did a little test experiment, didn't you?
Yes, yeah. We were lucky enough to be invited to a wedding in South Africa in March, and we thought, right, I'm not a massive flyer myself. I don't actually like flying, ironically, of all this stuff. I'm quite frightened of it. So if I'm going that distance, I'm going to go for a period of time. Yeah, so my husband and I, we thought, okay, let's spend 4 weeks out there, and let's explore, and let's use this as an opportunity to kind of see if we can we can do the kind of, because what you don't want to do when you're somewhere new is really just be working, as you say, like 8 hours a day. And it's actually an interesting approach. And talking about 1% Live, there were obviously 2 speakers who spoke a lot about team and needing a team to do that. And obviously, as a 2-person team and a husband and wife team, there is some difficulties. But we also work on projects. So we work on quite a lot of project basis. We do have some retained clients, but a lot of what we do, particularly on the branding side, is project. And then there'll be far smaller pieces of work to do off the back of that. And I think it is possible, if you're working with ideal clients and you get your marketing strategy right, and if you don't have a team to be able to do that. I mean, it takes a lot of planning. It takes patient clients, but again, if they're ideal clients, they're they're the right ones for you, and they'll understand. So we managed to make it work, actually doing probably about 2 to 3 hours, sometimes less, a day, and it just worked out fabulously. So now, we've booked 6 weeks next year, so early next year. So as a result, but you can do it. And I think there was a message, as you said, at 1%. Michelle had said, can you do this? Was the message, and I think there's a fear factor, of course. But I would just say, if anyone's thinking about it, to try it, because if you don't like it, or it doesn't work, nothing's lost, but at least you've kind of given it a go. So and try it for small periods, to see if you like it. I mean, my concern is I booked 6 weeks next year in one accommodation. I'm like, what if I don't like the accommodation? But you just trial things, don't you? And you just see how it goes. And
it's only 6 weeks.
6 weeks.
But I think that's a really, really good point in that trying thing, because a few 1%ers have been trying to get time out of the business and things like that, and it's like, right, in the summer I'm going to have a 3-week holiday. I've never done that before. I'm going to have a 3-week holiday. Okay, so what does a 1-week holiday? When are you going to book the 1 week? Then let's do an April 1-week holiday. Where you tell me I've got to have another holiday. It's like, yeah, let's do that. Let's test your systems that you've got for 1 week. Nothing's going to fall apart in 1 week. Let's do that. And then once you come back from that, it's like, when's your next 2-week one then? So what you mean I've got to have another holiday? It's like, okay, yeah, cool. So before you know it, you've not only have you had the 3 week in the summer, you've had 6 weeks leading up. You've had the 6 weeks, 6 week holiday, which is unheard of. But testing, trying, seeing, stretching the team, stretching your business, stretching the clients, whatever that looks like. It's just actually, just test it. Well, what's the harm? A few days off. What does that look like? If you've never had a holiday in the entire time you've been trading for 20 years, what does just a few days look like?
And I think it's important to get the balance between holiday and work, because I think the other thing that we really want to do early next year, and actually we're going away in August to the States for a bit as well, is actually to have almost put an out of office on and say, I'm on holiday for this week. I'm not working, because there is the temptation as well when you can just do a couple of hours of day, that you're still working every day, so you also have to take the time out, and hey, this is fixed, whatever's all right for you, but a fixed period of time that you're not working at all. If you had your 25 days annual leave in a job, you would take that time off, and you would use it as holiday. So we tried to do a little bit of that. And on the South Africa trip, we took the first week exploring Cape Town, the wine regions, and just really kind of enjoying the time. Expected that smile from you there, John. But so but that was very good fun. But so we did take that first week as holiday, and I think that's important to kind of get the balance as well, because what you don't want to do is just be working 365 days a year either. So whether that's in a sunnier climate or here. So, yeah.
And again, that's sensible if you're going to work when you're away to have that time. There is a distinction between being out on holiday, away on holiday, and away and working and living abroad, if that makes sense. And if you, for any period of time, that's extended. But if, it's really important to have that barrier put in place as well. Definitely. And I think that's something that, Michelle kind of alluded to in the group, is actually, I am away, and that's away, that's fine, but I'm working. And no, I'm not, I'm on holiday and I'm exploring wine and sunbeds and whatnot. That's my away, I'm on holiday. So there's a holiday and there's a working away bit. There's two different bits there.
Absolutely.
I think there was some confusion around that, wasn't there? And I think Michelle really needed to clarify that difference between being on holiday and being away, because I think there was just a feeling of, because Michelle is abroad so much and enjoying lifestyle so much, she's always on holiday. And it's the case of, well, no, she is spending a lot of time on holiday, but whilst on holiday she's blocking out time to do stuff, which means she's actually working away. And I know, Jace, we've had conversations with and about Michelle, and the amount of times you said to me, "No, she works better from a sunbed."
Yeah. And I remember you saying that to me before I went to South Africa. So I was quite nervous about that fact, but it was, it was. You're so productive, and funnily enough, we were just having a conversation this morning as we speak now. It's not exactly been the nicest summer in the UK, has it, with the grey skies? And we were saying that we think our productivity levels are much lower when it's grey skies, and particularly me, I'm very affected by the sunshine or lack of. But it can give you that boost of energy that you need. And as Jason said, you have that period, and you're working within a set period of time, and you think, right, 2 hours, head down, and then go out and enjoy things. So.
And it's that focus, really, I think. And certainly Michelle's bit is that focus. So actually she reads more, she learns more, she talks to the team more, she plans more, she gets more done while she's away, because here there's a whole lot of distractions, whether that's your life distractions, family, friends, blah, 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 whether that's things happening in the house, I've got to do this, I've got to do that, I've got to do the other, or for her it's I've got to go play golf. She doesn't play golf when she's away, so actually there's more time she has to be able to do stuff towards the business. But at home it's actually, no, I'm off to play golf, and that's the bit that's kind of here. So there's less distractions I think, or she finds when she's away as well. So that's interesting. I say that focus. I'm going to do this for 2 or 3 hours in the morning. You'll nail it in that 2 or 3 hours, because otherwise if you sat there at your desk for the whole day, and it'll just take the whole day to do that piece otherwise.
Yeah.
I think, again, that's another reason, like you said just now, Karen, about the sunshine does help. And good news, everyone, because obviously this is our September podcast. So although we're mentioning what a horrible summer it's been, I know it's going to be nice because the kids will be back at school now. The sun's going to be shining, isn't it? Guaranteed. But when the sun is shining, you do have, for me, there's two things. Number one, either I'll go and do the school run, and then I'll just head out on the moors in the sunshine, brilliant, come back, land at my desk full of energy, raring to go. I've processed all the ideas. I'm absolutely raring to go. Or flip side of the day, I'm in here working my ass off, looking at the window going, oh my God, it's nice and sunny out there. I want to get out there. So let me bam, 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 get everything done. When I look out the window and it's mizzle or just fog or just that horrible greyness that we get out there, just carry on and just check another email. Let's just plod on and do a bit more work. And when it's sunny, and when I am working away, and sometimes I do, I carve out, I don't know, 90 minutes, 2 hours, and I just say, right, I'm going to take the iPad. I'm going to get this blitzed out, boom, and it's done. 2 hours of the most productive work ever, and then bugger off to the pool.
Yeah, absolutely. I highly recommend it for those that haven't done it. haven't tried it.
Absolutely.
I just want to bring us back to planning, really, because I know we've talked a little bit already about your planning retreats and things, but thinking about planning and how important that has become, I think previous to that, we've been doing a few 90-day plans before that, and they were kind of hit and miss. I think it's fair to say there wasn't a focus to kind of complete them necessarily, or as things fell off the way, that sort of like we didn't quite kind of get there. And I guess when people first join the 1% Club, it's kind of, these 90-day plans, that sounds like a good plan. That sounds like something I can follow, I could do. Sometimes it's easy to fall off that wagon, and I know that's something that you guys have done. But as I say, I reckon since our Argyle trip, I think that plan has become very important, and it's something that's fairly religiously followed now. And even to the extent of having sort of retreats to kind of put them together and to work on them together and have them. And I've got to say, you're achieving them, which is brilliant. So I guess my question was, from that starting of the 1% Club to going, this is a really good idea. Oops, I've fallen off, and I've come back on again. What does that journey look like for you, and how has that really helped and not, as the case may be?
No, it's a really good question, and I didn't realise until we're talking about it now that's kind of it's not just a coincidence that it's come with the retreats. I think I was setting 90-day goals because I knew they were a good idea to do them, but I wasn't really setting 90-day goals, if I'm honest, that inspired me. I was doing them that, this is what I should be doing. This is where I should be now. And I think that's never inspiring, is it? So that's always something to kind of, you can go, I didn't achieve that because, this really big project came in and it distracted me. So these kind of 2-3 days away that we take away, we really kind of, I mean, it is easier when it's your partner because you get quite, are we enjoying this? Are we not? No whole bars really. And I think we get to the root of why, if we didn't achieve, which we didn't achieve one of our 90-day goals, why did we not achieve that? And in this case, it was we tried to pack too much in. But I think those kind of goals, and I think sometimes actually, John, I think you said it on a call recently in one of the coaching calls. You said that sometimes I think in your summer period, obviously when you're at home with the kids more, that you don't put in as big a goals, whereas at the start of the year, or as time intensive goals anyway. And I think we were just putting the same, we weren't thinking about the amount of time you then have to follow through. And that sounds strange because you've got to do the work. Yep. But we were just putting in these kind of goals and then not looking at the calendar and going, well, actually, we've got some holiday there. We've got this big project that's going to take us there. So I think at the start it was a case, Jason, I didn't realise until you said that, but it was a case of just putting in things that we should be doing, but not really looking at how we could achieve those. And now we're really clear. So there's two things really. One, do we have the time to do this quarter? And I think this could-do list is really helpful for us. So it goes on to the next. Again, my could-do list, I think I struggled with the could-do list at the start because I was just putting down anything we possibly could ever do as an agency. Whereas I still think your could-do list should be a slightly filtered list just for you, shouldn't it? That's relevant. I'm never going to start a podcast, for example. So why would I put that on a could-do list, just for the sake of having it? So the could-do list has almost become refined. And then so we put, okay, we can't focus on that this quarter, let's focus on that. So I think it's a combination, basically, of just being really targeted, really inspired by them, and just working out what you can actually achieve in 90 days.
And do you think it's getting to the end point as well? So, I mean, obviously lifestyle switched on there. So actually these are things I have to do in order to get to that lifestyle piece that I want. There's time away that I want. And actually there's a reward at the end of following through the 90-day plan, perhaps, if I may say it quite like that. It's something to achieve for, if that makes sense. Not a case of doing the do to get a result and go, yes, didn't I do well? It's actually doing the do, and that means I can now go and spend 6 weeks in a different country, or I can go and do a month in America, or whatever the case may be.
And on a really basic level, I think we're all children at heart. We all like gold stars if we do things, right? So I can tick that one off. Get really proud of myself.
I used to work in early childcare right at the very beginning of when I finished school, kind of thing, and all of that kind of rings true, to be fair. And I think that I find that with all business owners, I will say, rather than just some. I think everybody enjoys that. That reward. That's important, as well as actually the achievement part. Absolutely.
But it's great. I mean, it's so the 90 days, then breaking them down to the month and then the week is just I think that's where we had maybe some other challenges as well. We might have actually set some really good 90-day goals, but then breaking them down into the month and into the tangible things that you can do on a weekly basis has been really useful as well. So we kind of have a weekly check-in now at the start of the week, just 10 minutes, and just go, right, okay, when are we slotting in, amongst all the client work, when are we slotting in the thing that's going to push the business forward? So that's been really useful too.
Yeah, it's the could-do list. For me, first and foremost, it's not everything you could possibly do in the business.
Yeah.
I think there is a filter there. And I think also you do need to look at that word could, because if podcasting is absolutely not something you would ever entertain, then it's not something that your business could have.
Yeah.
Because the controlling shareholder of that business is going to veto it. Yeah. So it's not on the could-do list. I've always got my could-do list off to my left-hand side here. It's a folder, contains all my ideas. And at every 90 days, I will go through my could-do list to find, first and foremost, what am I going to do in the next 90 days? But also what's languishing at the back of that folder that's been there for 18 months that I need to accept. That ain't going to happen. It's just there's some stuff in there, I'll be honest with you, some stuff that's been in there for 3 years, 4 years that I still would like to do, but it's never the right time. And I'll keep kicking that can down the road. It doesn't cost me anything to leave it in there. But every now and then I do get a little bit ruthless and go, it's time to leave that, John. It's time to accept that. And I think it was Derek Sivers who, after he sold his business, he said, I want to start this next business. And about 2 years later, someone met him and said, how are you getting on? Oh, yeah, I still want to do that business. He went, no, you don't. Yes, I do. No, you don't. You don't want to start that business. He said, I do. He said, well, if you wanted to start it, you'd have done it by now.
Yeah.
He said, so don't tell me what you want to do and then not do it. He said, if you want to do it, you will do it. So don't turn, and I'm not just speaking to you, Nick, I'm speaking to the listeners out there as well, and other 1%ers who might be listening. Don't turn your could-do list into a should-do list.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it.
What you've done there, Karen, is you've found something that, as you said, inspires you, that motivates you, that you want to do. So the big three, yes, they are things that move the business forward. And this is going back to our conversation earlier about ambition and lifestyle, business and lifestyle. Yes, what are the three big things that are going to move the business forward in the next 90 days? But also what's going to light you up? What are you going to enjoy doing? Because otherwise you are just growing for growth's sake and you're going to fall out of love with your business.
Yeah. And I've kind of set alongside it because I think the other thing, Jason, why I kind of struggled with it as well, I tried to combine within those three things work and business. So I kind of keep them very financial, business focus, those three, and then I have a kind of separate one thing that I want to work on for the next quarter personally. So I think that's also helped as well. Having said that, you shouldn't separate life, but in terms of having a separate goal, that's just in terms of lifestyle, health, fitness, whatever that might be.
The lesson is, whatever that plan looks like, it's got to work for you. And 1% is you'll have to throw some health in there as well as their business goal or a financial goal, or their health is thrown in there because that's important, or whether that's relationship, that's in there for some too. There's lots of different things, but the secret is, or the thing that matters is, it has to work for you. And obviously the previous plans weren't working, which is why very few of them were achieved. Now you're smashing them because you've got a purpose and a reason to get them done.
Absolutely, yeah, definitely. But it's good to have those 90 days. I think in the past I've set yearly goals, but it is quite hard to then, it feels like such a long way away, doesn't it, a year? And I still have yearly goals, but they all work into the 90 goals, fit into the kind of yearly goals. And if a year feels like a long time, of course it comes around quickly, but it feels at the time, put that off, I can put that off, kind of thing.
It's a long old time, isn't it, to get there? There's plenty of time in a year to get something done that never gets done.
Exactly.
There's either too much time ahead of you, so I don't need to start that yet, or there's not enough time left, and I can't achieve that by the end of the year.
Yeah. The other thing I think really important when goal setting is to listen and to really take on board what others are saying, because I think they can inspire you, but not to be led by others' goals, because it's their personal, it's their life, it's their business. It's very different to your setup. And I think maybe that, in the past has been, maybe I should do this, maybe I should do, so I keep going back to podcasts, but maybe I should sell podcasts, maybe I should speak from the stage. When you go to, you think, actually, no, I'm not, I don't, it's not for me, it's not what I want to do. But so you can sometimes think that your own goals, I think, are maybe less valid if other people are, if you're in a group of people that are saying, you should be doing this, you should be doing this. So I think you've got to listen to others, but I think you've also got to, really focus on what's right for you, because what you guys want for your business is different from what we want for our business, and everybody in the community will have something slightly different, won't they?
Yeah, I think other people's goals, other people's achievements are there to inspire. They're to kind of like, actually, this is possible. This is something I could do if I wanted to. This is possible even. Lots of people would go, I can't take 6 months out of a business. Yeah. It is possible. And here's a way of doing it that somebody else has done. But that may not be for you. You may not want to do that, and that's absolutely fine. It's inspiring. It's giving you the, people don't know what you don't know, and therefore, this is possible. There's a possibility for that. I'm really disappointed about hearing that there won't be a podcast from you, because you've been exceptional on this one. Pretty terrific, if you don't mind me saying. But this is
that like me saying I'm never writing another book again? I think that could be that moment where we hark back to this in years to come. Remember when you said you weren't going to launch a podcast, Karen?
Yeah, I don't think the world needs me on a podcast, but thank you, Jason.
That's right. Well, if you want to see Karen on a podcast, sign the petition at www.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's strange, isn't it? Because I do like speaking, but as in talking to people. But yeah, no, I don't think I'll be setting up a podcast anytime soon.
I think you and Rich should go on your retreat, open a bottle of wine, and just turn the microphones on.
I'm definitely not that.
Is this Peter Crouch and Abby Clancy? Is that what they've just done? Bottle of wine?
Really? Oh, okay.
I think that's all they do, just moan at each other, and it's all good. All right, thank you for being on our Ambitious Lifestyle Business podcast today. The question we ask all of our guests, and I'm sure you're ready for it because you've heard lots of our podcasts, is what does an ambitious business podcast?
An ambitious business. You've missed a word out there, Jay.
What does it even mean? To you.
I think doing life and business on your terms, really. I think probably the most important thing for us is freedom of movement, but also control. They can control over your own life, your own existence, and then the ability to do good work for good people. I've worked in the past, I've worked in places where, wouldn't necessarily be a project that I would enjoy working on. I think if you've got the right people, you're in the right space and you're living the right kind of lifestyle for you, then you're going to do great work, you're going to have a great life. That's pretty much what it is for me. It enables you to do all of those things. Not very concise. I need to get that more concise.
It was brilliant. Thank you.
My
By the time you get on your own podcast, it'll be fun.
No, thank you for having me. I've actually enjoyed it. Yes, I was slightly nervous, so I'm quite happy to have had the chat. It's very good chat.
Fantastic. Thank you, Karen. And thank you, dear listener, for joining us. And we will see you again next month. Adios.
So there we are, another episode in the can. How was it for you? Please let us know. However you listen to these podcasts, please leave a review on that platform. Let us know what we can do better, what you like, what you don't like, and how we can improve to make this show even better for you. We'll see you next time.